Hello there. This is Anari B, and I'm back again with another episode from the Relationship Within. And if you have not been keeping up with us, we are talking about self development. And today's topic on self development is about learning to let go. Letting go is a huge step in your self development journey because, and it has been a huge step in my life as well along my journey of self development. Um, it is a huge step because this is the only way that we, so to speak, shed old skin, shed old mindsets, shed old situations and ideas, is by learning to let go. And so, and when I say let go, I'm not just talking about giving up an old relationship, but letting go of old patterns in your life, old patterns that are holding you in a space that you're no longer in. Because this is what we have to realize. Sometimes we're holding ourselves in a space that we no longer fit in our lives, but we've been doing it for so long, we have the hardest time giving up that habit. And we hold ourselves there. And we keep telling ourselves, no, this is who I am, you know, and if this is who I am, I have to continue to do this thing. No. As we grow into our higher selves, we have to be able to let go of patterns, things, people, situations that not necessarily always is no longer serving you, but they don't fit in your path any longer. And I say that because sometimes we can have a really great friend, for instance, and that friend may have been there maybe since high school, junior high, whatever. And your life starts to take a different turn. Maybe you start to realize that you guys have a different outlook on life, and you see them going in a different direction. It doesn't necessarily mean that this person is bad for you. I know a lot of people say that. However, I believe that, everything that comes in our life is there to teach us. It's there, it's a lesson for us in it. And if we're exposed to it, then that lesson was not only for you, the other person, but for you as well. So there is something to learn in that. However, you have to know when to walk away from situations like that. When the lesson is now learned and now it's time for me to move on, So, and if you don't, what you'll find is people and situations and things will continue to repeat themselves in your life because you're not letting go. You're not truly moving on and learning the lesson and moving on to the new higher lessons and the higher self within you. So that's a clear sign when okay, I'm still kind of standing still in this space and I no longer fit there. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're going to know that because, like I said, the situations will repeat themselves, whether it be in that same person or next person or same job, a new job, whatever the situation is, it will continue to go on in your lives. But letting go, like I said, does not just consist of relationships. It consists of situations, mindsets, just things that we have been talking about, in the last week or so, and when you are not letting go of situations and really truly moving into a higher you're holding yourself still, but you're also inviting more of that. So this is the key thing, and this is why it's so crucial in your self-development, because if you really see what I'm saying, you're causing yourself to stand still. It's like, running in that maze and you just keep running and running and running and running. You know what I'm saying? You're running in circles because you are not willing, or you have not been willing to truly release and let go of that thing. And so how do we truly, truly release and let go? For instance, like I said, an old friendship, or a past relationship. You have to put yourself first. You have to put your feelings aside. Okay. I notice why I'm saying that is because we have oftentimes when it comes to people, things, material things of that nature, situations, we have emotional attachments to things. So it's about putting your feelings aside and realizing that your feelings have nothing to do with the outcome. And so you have to put your feelings aside and recognize what's happening right in front of you right now. Am I happy right now with this situation, with this person? Is this person, this situation serving me? And when I say serving you, is it serving you to be your higher self? Is it creating a situation within you where you are growing? If it is not, it is something you need to let go of. And letting go does not mean you let go forever. This is the thing. Sometimes you let go of situations because it's time. And I'll give you an example of that. There's been times along my journey where I have all these great ideas, all these things I want to do. And, I'm just, oh gosh, I'm so great at this. I'm great at that. And I had to literally let go of or sit down some of those ideas for a minute, for a time period, in order to focus on the now and what's serving me right now. And so some things and some situations you will eventually come back to. And that's the same for some relationships as well. You'll find people leave a situation and maybe years down the line, months down the line, they revisit that situation. Maybe they needed that break. They needed that time apart for whatever reason. And so it's very important that when it comes time to let go of the situation, you let go and you allow you allow God to take the lead and take over your life and guide you, and you listen to that guidance. Because when we don't do that, we're finding ourselves standing still. We're finding ourselves going through the same repetitive motions over and over again, same repetitive situations, same people. And in the midst of letting go, what I find is that you let go and then you have to do the work. After you let go of a situation, like I said, because you have the emotional tie to the situation, you're more than likely going to have to deal with self in that moment. Then you have to deal with the realities of, why do I feel this way towards this situation, this person, this job, whatever it may be, and get real with yourself, because there's something that, if that was a negative situation that was not serving you, there was something within you that allowed you to emotionally attach to it that is not serving you as well. So you have to go in and you have to figure out then, how do I deal with why I was attached to this thing? Why was I attached to this? And really get real with yourself. I mean, sometimes you may have to sit down and really cry it out, but you have to figure out, why am I attached to something that is not serving me? And once you figure that thing out and you're able to say it out loud to yourself, you can then go in and you can change that. Remember, that is just mindset. And remember, if you haven't looked at our last series here in self-development, we talked about mindset. So once you come to whatever that negative mindset was, all you need to do is go in and replace that mindset or that thought with a positive thought, in order to create now a new pattern of thinking when it comes to that. And you continue to do that for at least 30 days to give yourself a new habit when it comes to how you're dealing with your attachment to a certain person, a certain thing. Give yourself a new habit. And it's, I think, the hardest situation for this for most people, what I realize is when it's dealing with relationships. When it's dealing with relationships, because you're dealing with a whole nother person, and maybe you have children with that person, maybe you have built some type of life with that person, and you say, oh, well, it's too hard to just, or I can't just totally let go because I have attachments here that hold me here. However, you can let go of the energy. You can let go of the energy that is connected to the situation. And what I mean by that is that at one point you felt obligated as the mate in the situation to do and be a certain person for this person. That's when we have the empathy, and we feel as if we have to take care of them, or we have to love them, or we have to be fair, we have to consider their feelings, all of these type of things. Now, I'm not saying to be mean, but when you're leaving something behind that is not serving you, that means that it's for you to put yourself first. So that means there's no more consideration in their feelings and all of those type of things when it pertains to you and that person. Now, as far as having children with that person, yes, of course, you have to come to some equal understanding within that, and you have to be mutually respectful in that. But after you have come to an understanding between one another, the personal relationship between you and that person does not have to any longer hold you in that space. And I say that because oftentimes I've seen people, they break up, and next thing you know, it's, oh, well, they want to go see the kids, but they can only come to my house. And this is like, the person trying to create a situation so that they don't have to let go. It's like, stop doing these type of things to yourself. Truly let go, truly allow yourself to release the situation so that if it is for that situation to ever return to you, it is meant for you, obviously, to release it first. And this is a huge problem with, relationships, and I'll get into a whole segment about relationships versus union somewhere soon in the near future, but we have to learn to let go of things that are no longer serving us in order to make the steps to move forward towards our higher selves, our better selves, in order to be able to be what those situations truly need us to be anyway, So that's what I wanted to talk about today, is learning to let go. Letting go is a very important step in your self-development. This is something that if you don't learn how to do, whether you prioritize and put yourself first, whether you stop identifying, whether you learn to do any of the other traits, if you don't know how to let go of things, then you're not really moving forward, because you can only move so far ahead without being loaded down. You know what I'm saying? It's like then it becomes so heavy and you're bringing all this stuff with you. It's like sweeping stuff under the rug. You're not dealing with the issues, but you're trying to put a new situation on top of that, which is self, and it just does not go. You just cannot make that happen. So with that being said, I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. Please share, like, subscribe, and check out my Facebook group, The Relationship Within. And until next time, loves.